Thank you so much for watching. This is the first video of the channel here. What we are doing is a Glasslocke, so Pokemon with quad weaknesses only on this Nuzlocke. And you would think Joy Boy here with his quad weakness to rock might not be fantastic. However, since level caps don't matter at the start of the battle, we got him right here about to level up as soon as he KOs this Geodude, which is going to unlock the move Sleep Powder. And due to Joy Boy's ability, Compound Eyes, Sleep Powder almost never misses, allowing us to put Brock's Onix here straight to sleep and KO it with a couple confusions. So almost no context here from Brock. Next we get Arlong from the Magikarp Salesman, Bluegrass, and Rock's Zizabek. So we're getting a interesting team of One Piece characters, to say the least here. Due to the new level cap of 21, Arlong is able to evolve before the Misty fight. However, I lead with Bluegrass, who I've given the Bullet CTM. I just thought it would be a little more fun than using Arlong, who could just spam Bite and, win, because it's a Gyarados. I might also be the only person excited to use a Paris or Parasect in all of planet Earth, but, you gotta admit, the name Bluegrass is perfect for a Paris. If you guys are caught up on One Piece, you're gonna agree with me on how phenomenal of a name Bluegrass is. So we get Staryu KO'd with this scratch, and I'm looking at the Swift. It doesn't do that much, so I go ahead, Stun Spore, go in for a Leech Life, get a little bit of HP back, and it's looking pretty good. I think I'm going to be able to get a Bullet Seed off, however I am devastated by this crit. Really should have never lost Bluegrass here. I didn't think the crit would be enough to KO, but I guess the two crits back to back got Bluegrass out. So, obviously we win with Arlong here. We come in, we Paraflinch this Starmie with super effective damage, and we win. But yeah. That's what I get for being the only person on Earth excited to use a Paris. Bluegrass just sits straight to the graveyard. And as you would imagine, Rock's Zizabek just absolutely annihilates the third gym. So, not much there. We do ahead and catch Onix down in the Dark Cave. And we go ahead and name him Pika. However, he is not that great of an encounter, outweighed by getting Mihawk, the world's greatest swordsman. So our team's starting to look kind of good. We got a Sapphire and a Gyarados, so that counts for something. I go ahead and get an agility off to boost Mihawk's speed here to counteract the Para. And Aerial Race is doing consistently high damage coming off Mihawk here. So it looks like Erica stands little chance against the world's greatest swordsman here. However, RNG turns his back on us here as Mihawk is paralyzed. Then Mihawk is paralyzed. So we switch to Joy Boy, who just ends it with a confusion. You can always count on Joy Boy to come in and save everyone in the end here. So we are now on to the 5th badge. The level cap is 43 now, which means we can finally use Bonnie the Charizard, which I am very excited for. Giovanni we were just sweeping through, however, Kangaskhan scares the absolute daylights of me with that Mega Punch there. If that was a crit, Arlong would have just been gone, and he's kind of nice to have on our team here. So I switched to Roxy Zebek, who should resist its stab, slow Kangaskhan down a bit. However, it uses Bite here to take advantage of our lowered special defense and gets a crit. So, and he flinches. So we switch out to Pika, who I speed up here because he has the same attack stat as Joy Boy did before he evolved and was just a Caterpie. And I cry as both of our Safari Zone encounters flee. So this is the team we are stuck with for the rest of the run here. I was really hoping to get rid of Pika. And we come in against Koga. And I decide to go ahead and use Joy Boy. I'm sure if I used Bonnie here, I could have spammed Flamethrower and swept through all of Koga's team. However, I want y'all to see how good Butterfree is, because I don't think Butterfree gets enough respect. As you see, Joy Boy doesn't have the highest special attack, but with Psychic, he's able to hit a good portion of the decks for super effective damage. And with Compound Eyes, he can put everyone to sleep and use Whirlwind to put the whole team to sleep, which is one of my favorite cheese tactics to do with Butterfree if you're playing through Fire Red. So, Joy Boy, slowly but surely, sweeps through Koga's entire team. Here comes his ace, Muck, who is put to sleep. And with a few Psybeams, a few Psychics, we are able to whittle Muck down. So while we watch the slow and inevitable downfall of Koga, have you ever considered subscribing? This is the first video, but you are about 7 minutes in, so hitting that little red button there could help me out a ton in the future, and I would greatly appreciate it. And you know, Joy Boy shrugs off this Toxic, and let's just KO Muck. So we can move on to the next gym badge as you hit that subscribe button, thank you. Alright, so with Koga defeated, we are now able to collect the Soul Badge and catch Captain Mid at the Power Plant. With Captain Eulyptes S Mid, we come in here and we get a few sparks off in this Kadabra. Definitely should have just stopped and got him a better electric move than Spark, but live and learn. And also with Synchronize, we do also get paralyzed, so not a great start for Captain Mid here. However, we are able to get rid of Kadabra. So Captain Mid accomplished something. He takes the Future Sight attack, switches out to Joy Boy, who, same old song and dance here after this Calm Mind, is going to fire off a Sleep Powder and attempt to phase Mr. Mine out. However, he's woken up and Joy Boy's not in the greatest spot right here. So Arlong comes in to save the day. Gets an Intimidate off, which is gonna be clutch against Alakazam here. Yeah, no. At least Arlong is especially defensive. The Calm Mind boost is scary. However, we go straight for a Strength, taking advantage of Alakazam's low physical defense. And Arlong survives a boosted Psychic here. KOs Alakazam. Then takes the Future Sight attack. Absolutely just eating it. Surviving with 6 hit points. So we go ahead and switch into Mihawk, who takes a little bit of damage from Psybeam, but is able to outspeed with Aerial Ace here, which allows it to get the KO on Mr. Mime. You know, after Sabrina wastes everybody's time with a Hyper Potion, that is. But then comes Venomoth, which one-shot by Aerial Ace. So again, Mihawk, world's greatest swordsman, fantastic. We are able to beat Sabrina. So as we add Vanderdecken to our team, the level cap becomes 50 for Giovanni. Now you astute viewers might be thinking, 50 for Giovanni? Did we skip Blaine? Yes, we did. Lost the footage for the Blaine fight. I know, off to a fantastic start at the channel, losing key footage on my first video. Truly the best. Now, if you're so keen on wanting to know what that Giovanni fight looked like, those 2 Rhyhorns from about 3 seconds ago, before Arlong did that beautiful pivot, just imagine they were a Rapidash and an Growlithe, so on and so forth, as the as the 7th and 8th gym leader here are kind of trivialized by Vanderdecken. How embarrassing. But you know, we do switch into Arlong here just to avoid that potential super effective crit from Earthquake, which more than likely would not have been an issue. Probably could have done this entire fight with Vanderdecken, if I'm being honest. And another Surf. Nidoqueen is down. So then he's going to send in Nidoking. Which Nidoking really should have been his ace here, since they keep Rhyhorn instead of Rhydon. Because Rhydon's a cool ace, but Rhyhorn isn't. So Nidoking definitely should have been the ace. However, he is down, and we are going to move on to the rival fight right outside the Elite Four. And if you guys want some foreshadowing here, go ahead and grab some popcorn, maybe a sody pop, because I'm about to fumble here. So let's see who dies. Alright, well, Pidgeot is down with a Spark, and in comes Growlithe, who quad resisted by Vanderdecken, sets up an Agility, and is KO'd by a Surf. After that, Execute comes in, and Vanderdecken takes a couple chomps out of him. We get that flinch there. Boom. So, it's going pretty smooth here. Next is Alakazam, which is scary. Sets up a Calm Mind. Vanderdecken here decides to go for Bite. And since, you know, Alakazam is faster, we're not able to get the flinch. Bite's disabled. Vanderdecken takes a Psychic that has been boosted. Survives with 1 HP. Absolutely clutch here. But then we switch out, not wanting to take the Future Sight. So after taking the Future Sight, Captain Mid also takes a pretty nasty Psychic, which gets the Special Defense drop. That is not optimal, and 90% of the time, that doesn't happen. I guess we're just in the 10% timeline over here. We do take Alakazam out with a Spark, and since there's another Future Sight coming, I decide to keep Captain Mid in. However, due to the Special Defense drop, he dies here as the Water Gun hits him. So Arlong has to come in and take the Future Sight. So it might be hard for you to believe that Captain Mid would needlessly have his life thrown away, but I guess that's just the way it works. And anyways, Arlong and Blastoise start biting back and forth. And I go ahead and switch out here because I'm not about to also lose Arlong. And coming in, Mihawk should be able to finish this off. Aerial Ace does pretty considerable damage. Even though Water Gun is boosted, it's still Water Gun. So Mihawk manages to hang on and come in with another Aerial Ace. Then after that is Rhyhorn. So I switch to Bonnie because everyone else is super low on HP and gets hit super effectively. So Bonnie was my only hope here. I thought she was the most likely to survive, and she does. She stays through the 2-hit, gets a smoke screen to make sure he doesn't do that again. However, the smoke screen was a little too cheeky, as it turns out a flamethrower would have sufficed. That could have gone a lot worse. If Bonnie had died there, we would have been down 2 phenomenal Pokemon, so counting my stars, I was unpunished there. And we start off strong with Vanderdecken here. We go for some Ancient Power spam, trying to fish for an Omni Boost. And we are, unfortunately, just neutral to Surf. However, 2 Ancient Powers gets us the KO here. And a crit, so that's pretty nice. But we go ahead and switch out on Cloyster since he has such a high defense. Ancient Power is really not going to do so much. And he always goes for Hell and Protect, so he does protect the first Sleep Powder. However, the second one has a fall asleep, at which point Joy Boy is free to spam Psychic until he's out, taking advantage of that low special defense. We then go ahead to put Slowbro to sleep, and with our, well, he wakes up, so, and that Ice Beam is nasty. So we went for Whirlwind here, got him out, and we're gonna put Lapras to sleep. We're gonna go for a Whirlwind, not wanting Lapras to wake up, and hit us with an Ice Beam, but once Jinx is asleep, we were able to 2-shot with Silver Wind. So, rolling the dice here, hoping Joy Boy gets an Omni Boost. Yeah, and as you see, Lorelei decided to heal Jinx all the way up with a full restore, which only gives us another chance for an Omni Boost, and Joy Boy clutched in, and one-shot him that turn. Puts Slowbro to sleep and switches out, which was definitely the right call, as Arlong is hit with an Ice Beam that inevitably would have silenced the Drums of Liberation here, putting Joy Boy down. But with Arlong in, we get Thunderbolt off, which gets a paralysis, so it's pretty nice. He goes for Amnesia, so we go ahead and decide to switch strategies here with Arlong and go for Earthquake, which does considerable damage, but not as much as I would like, as we take a neutral Ice Beam and go for another Earthquake, which, you know, as you see, this is not the damage one would hope for here, as it's looking like a 4-shot. So we switched to Thunderbolt to see how much that does. And it roughly does about the same. However, he hits us with a Yawn. So it's looking a little dicey now. So we switch out, come in here with Vanderdecken once again, who tanks an Ice Beam. And comes in with a super effective Bite. And we get the flinch, so we go ahead and hit him with a cheeky Ancient Power, which in fact does get Vanderdecken the Omni Boost, which is kind of hype here. So Omni Boosted Vanderdecken is on the field as a Sleeping Glabrus comes in. And with another Ancient Power, we get yet another Omni Boost. So as Lapras wakes up here inevitably and comes in here with a Surf, our ×2 special defense just eats it as we come in and take a chomp out of Lapras, beating Lorelei, and moving on to Bruno. Joy Boy has now learned to Giga Drain via TM and uses that to just one-shot Onix. And then after that, Joy Boy is up to his usual antics of putting everyone to sleep. And then once everyone's asleep, we just spam Psychic. The Hitmons do have reasonable special bulk, so they're able to not get one shot here, but might as well be one shot if you're asleep the whole time. So Joy Boy has come in here flawlessly so far. So we got Hitmonchamp asleep, coming in with another Psychic. Does about 50%, so we're safe to hit him with another Psychic. As he manages to survive with like 1 hit point. Hit Joy Boy with a Rock Tomb. count my lucky stars that did not crit. That would have been terrible to lose Joy Boy there, so I'm gonna have to switch out. It's terrible we got the low roll there, because it would have been funny to watch his entire Elite Four team get swept by an early route Pokemon. So we go ahead and pivot to rock Zizabek here. But we should have stayed in. We should have stayed in as he went for a full restore. We could have put him to sleep. Terrible. We come in with the Surf. You know, after we bait out his fighting type attack, I figured I'd switch in, hit him with a Surf. But now he's just bulking up. And I didn't want Arlong to fall to a Rock Tomb. So I switch in here to Zizabek. And I hope Zizabek would be able to survive an attack and get an explosion off, because there's no way we're not losing him here. However, he is unable to get an explosion off. So I come in. Kind of a little sad to lose Zizabek. Been with us the whole time. But I do switch to Joy Boy, who with Hitmonchan so low is able to clean up the rest of Bruno's team. And even gets a complimentary through Onix to kind of heal him up. So it's nice, you know, save money on those hyper potions if the Elite Four members are just going to throw Onix out at you. So after this is Agatha, and she leads Gengar. And I decided to use Bonnie, because I haven't used Bonnie too much this video. So, give her some time to shine, as she does pretty nasty damage to Gengar here with this flamethrower and gets the burn, so. Burn damage inevitably just would have taken Gengar out. But he got hit with a full restore, so I guess it barely survives, gets the full restore. However, we hit him with a Dragon Claw this time, and he's gone. And Gengar is out. Next, Golbat comes in, hits Golbat with a Flamethrower. Let's be real, this is a pretty crusty Elite Four team, so I think Bonnie is going to be able to do pretty good here. Dragon Claw and Flamethrower seem to be the combo of the day here as we drop Golbat. And I meant to go Flamethrower here. This was a misclick on my part and I went in for Fly, which inevitably misses, even though it's only a 5% chance. Why does a 2-turn move that doesn't even do that much damage have a 5% chance to miss? I couldn't tell you. What I can tell you is, unfortunately, we're gonna have to switch Bonnie out after talking smack because we missed a Fly and got poisoned. So then we switch to Vanderdecken, who resist, and should be able to clean up pretty well with a Surf. I know he's Rock type, but due to his Water typing, he only takes neutral damage from Iron Tail. And Surf does about 75%, but since we got the defense drop, we're switching yet again. But we get an Intimidate off, so Starbucks Iron Tail, which misses, but if it hit, it would have done measly damage, is taken out by a Surf from Arlong. Then next is Gengar, so Arlong continues to go with Surf. And Gengar hits us with a Hypnosis, so I don't want to stay in here. We hit by Dream Eater, so we switch out, and on the switch in, this time Joy Boy is put to sleep before he can use Sleep Powder, so we switch out yet again to Mihawk, who outspeeds, comes in with an Aerial Ace, and thankfully just gets targeted down with a Sludge Bomb. So he's able to come in with another Aerial Ace on the full restore and do about half damage. So I'm hoping to not get a low row here. And we crit, so low row be damned. Then they come in with Haunter, and it's a definite 2-shot here. But we do get hypnotized. So we switch out yet again. And all hopes on Vanderdecken here, as about everyone is asleep. So will Vander Clutch be able to win here? He does. He avoids hypnosis, winning this with a bite. So we are now against Lance, champion of the Elite Four, champion of the Johto region, but not this game. And on this Gyarados versus Gyarados, ours came with a Thunderbolt, so we have by far the advantage here. So he wasted his full restore only to get hit by another Thunderbolt. It would be pretty cool to get another para, so I'm just waiting to see if that happens. Oh, we got the second para, so this is just destined. Go ahead and switch out the Vanderdecken, just because I want Vanderdecken in if they were to send Aerodactyl out. Because with Gyarados being a little low, Aerodactyl could have been kind of scary. However, he sends out Dragonair, who I can hit with an Ice Beam. So we're still doing pretty decent here. Unfortunately, we missed the one-shot. There has been a ton of one-shots this Elite Four run that we just barely miss out on. He goes with a Thunder Wave, which I'm fine with. There wasn't that much. I think Vanderdecken was going to outspeed. So Vanderdecken comes in with another Ice Beam. This one's looking to be a two-shot here. Nope, it was a one-shot, so that's pretty nice. However, I switch out. I don't want Vanderdecken to fall here. And as I switch out, Dragonite goes with an Outrage, and with Arlong being pretty specially bulky, he is able to stay in and retaliate with an Ice Beam, which does not get the one shot because, you know, his special attack isn't the greatest, but his special defense is pretty nice. I'm able to hang in here, and I outspeed, so I can hit him for yet another Ice Beam. The issue is, after we get the drop on Lance's Dragonite, he still has Aerodactyl on the back. And like I said before, I was worried about having Arlong in when the Aerodactyl came out. However, now I just stay in with Arlong. And I'm going to say it was the right choice. Because after Arlong sacrifices himself here, we do end up switching out to Vanderdecken. But as you see, Aerodactyl got the Omni Boost. And why I believe Vanderdecken would have been able to, you know, take an Agent Power. He's paralyzed. And Aerodactyl got yet another Omni Boost. So if Arlong didn't sacrifice here, if we didn't just throw Arlong away, Vanderdecken would not have been able to stop Aerodactyl, and we would have wiped here, as the Rock is quad effective against every other team member we have. So Vanderdecken, yet again, getting knocked to 1 HP. This character does not deserve to be this clutch. I greatly regret naming this Pokemon Vanderdecken, but yet again, he wins us the battle. So we come in for the champion fight here. And our team is looking a little thin. So Pidgeotto comes out. And we lead with Joy Boy. But we just go ahead and switch out as soon as we get him to sleep instead of using Whirlwind. So that way we can come in with Vanderdecken and hopefully, you know, RNG decides to balance out and give us an Omni Boost. Even though I'm pretty sure RNG balanced out there giving Lance the double since we started with the double. But another Omni Boost would have been cool. Then he sends in Rhyhorn, which we're safe to stay in on. Hit him with a Surf, completely KO'd. Then after Rhyhorn, he sends out Executor. So we switch out because we don't want to get hit for a quad effective attack. However, Bonnie quad resist, so Giga Drain does next to nothing as Bonnie is able to retaliate with a Flamethrower. and just absolutely burn Executor to a crisp. After Executor, he sends out Blastoise, so we switch in Joy Boy, who manages to dodge a Hydro Pump. I am so happy about that. Joy Boy puts Blastoise to sleep, and we are able to kind of chip away at him here with a bit of Giga Drain, some Psychics, and Blastoise wakes up and just sets up a Rain Dance, is immediately put back to sleep. However, Giga Drain does not get the kill here. So, being the prick he is, Champion Green decides to use a full restore. However, Joy Boy is not playing games and immediately crits on this Psychic. So, we are off to a decent start as we put him to sleep at nearly half health. And a few Giga Drains away, we crit again. So, Blastoise is down. And then comes out Arcanine, so that's a big hail to the nah. We come in here with Vanderdecken, who has been just instrumental to our victory here so far. Quad Resist, and tanks that bite and retaliates with a pretty nasty Surf, which barely misses out on the one shot, and once again procs prick Champion Green to use yet another full restore. However, it's just a waste of everyone's time as we come in with an Ancient Power. Because I knew he's going to use that full restore here, so I get that Ancient Power, finish him off with a Surf. Unfortunately, we did not get the Omni Boost there. That would have been nice. Next is Alakazam, so I decide to stay in with Vanderdecken, not wanting him to get a free Calm Mind, and Vanderdecken is gone. We come in with Bonnie, who comes in with a Flamethrower after tanking a Psychic. And the Psychic did quite a bit of damage. However, so does the Flamethrower, so I switch out to Mihawk here, who takes a Psychic. And this is where I'm counting the victory. Mihawk gets the special defense drop, but does not outspeed. I was so certain Mihawk was going to outspeed, plus he got crit, so he's just annihilated. So all we are left with is Joy Boy and Bonnie. A fitting ending as Joy Boy comes in and tanks the Psychic, only to respond with a Silver Wind. So at the end, only Joy Boy and Bonnie stand, and we are the champions of the Kanto region. So that fight was a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be, but I just want to say to everyone who stayed here until the end, thank you. I'm hoping to be able to do this weekly. However, I'm working a full-time job, so let's not count on it. But if you could stick around, there's more Nuzlocke content to come. And so as I say thank you all, and y'all have just a wonderful day. Let's look at this channel's first ever champion team. And I'll see y'all next time with a Pokemon Crystal Mono Water Lock.